What's up guys, Blademaster here, sleep deprived master here, coming at you guys at like past midnight here in UAE. Going to be showing you another Empires of Sand DLC faction in action in Total War Attila online. This is the Tanukhids, and they are honestly one of my favorite factions in Total War Attila. Very fun faction to play. I've been fucking around with them in campaign. And there's just so many things about them, not only in campaign but just in their roster, that makes for such a cool faction in my opinion. They are by far not nearly a power faction. Absolutely cannot call them a power faction. They have many weaknesses, but honestly it's a combination of those weaknesses that kind of forces you into a different sort of playstyle that I think is what more factions need in Total War Attila. So we can see one of their unique units, the Desert Pikes, the only pikes in the game that have a 60% missile block chance, taking fire from around 4 Germanic archers and not doing too bad. They have a 60% missile block chance. They're going to block a lot of missiles, but they don't have great armor at the end of the day, so they will take quite a fair bit of damage. That is one thing that sets the Tanukhids apart from the rest of any Attila faction. The other thing that sets them apart are these guys, the Mavias Chargers and the Mavias Chosen. Let's pause this so that I can get a proper view on these guys. Let's go insert. So put this in slow motion and talk about these guys. These guys and all the other shock cavalry for the Tanukhids have two things in common. They're all very light, which means they're incredibly quick, and two, they are brilliant when it comes to the charge. They have all insane amounts of charges, charge bonuses. So these guys are the Mavias chargers. Just flatten a Germanic Lancer which didn't charge back at them. The other thing about them is that they're so quick that I managed to bait some of these Vandal raiders and then charged in with my Mavias Chosen once I was closer to my Kushite Shotalai. But the problem with the Tanukhids is that unless you get a proper charge in with your Mavias Chosen and your Mavias charges, they're going to do absolutely garbage. Because look at their health, 192 health. They're by far the most, well, not by far, but definitely one of the most fragile cavalry units. But take nothing away, they have frenzy charge. They have insane charge bonuses. These are some of the highest charge bonuses that you can see in the game, and these are not very expensive cavalry units at the end of the day. And the Mavias bodyguards, these are I think 700 talents, again very light, but have 20 bonus versus cavalry. Will completely slaughter any cavalry if they get a proper charge in. Here, using the speed of my Mavias Chosen and Mavias Charges to wreak havoc on the rear of the enemy. The thing about these guys is that because they have such low weight, they are able to pull out and then come in quickly, and you'll be able to see that here again because I'm going to charge in with Frenzy Charge. Let's go ahead and see how many kills I get. I was at 142. I come up against a couple of Germanic Warband, and yes, predictably so, I get a fuck ton of kills, but then I also lose a lot of men because of their really poor health. But now, what I don't really realize until much later on in this game is that I can pull these guys out easily, and I won't take nearly many casualties as I would with a regular Total War Attila faction. Because these guys are very quick, because they're very light. As you can see here, I charged in. It was long after I engaged the Vandal Berserkers, and now I'm able to pull out my Mavias charges. And then I'll be able to get a second, maybe even a third charge in. But that's the thing. This is probably one of the most micro-intensive factions that you need to that you need to babysit if you want to win a game. But they have all those really good tools. I'm sorry, my mouse is really fucking up today. So the pikes, one thing that separates them, the Mavias Chosen and the shock cavalry, which is just so fragile but so strong on the charge. Another thing that separates them. The third is that their all-round strength in quickness is another thing that separates them. The Kushite Shotalai are kind of a weird little unit in this roster, because otherwise every unit in this roster is completely unarmored and completely very quick on the charge and can slaughter other units. This is another unit. This is a unit that I'll probably do a unit review on. One of the really super cool units, Tanukhid ambushers, cost around 575 talents. They are really what the Athar's Chosen should have been, because these guys just slaughter units on the charge. The Tanukhid ambushes, because they have 130 charge bonus or something like that. Something absolutely fucking insane. 130 charge bonus with 50 because they have a, I believe they have a Spatha, 3614 weapon damage and insane melee attack at 49. Decent melee defense, but then they have jack shit for armor, jack shit for health, only 20 missile block chance, and only 53 morale. So they are literally a Thracian warrior, a desert Thracian warrior. They'll do insane amounts of damage on the charge, but really you can't expect them to do much more after that. The pikes here holding down some of the Germanic Spearmasters, and I've used rapid advance on these guys to just quickly move in and then start poking these Germanic archers to death. They of course have the Desert Hurlers, which is a very standard vanilla unit. Here, going to charge in with Mavia's charges onto the flank of this Germanic warband. Won't get many kills. These guys have gotten, still they managed to get like around 10-20 kills, and that's off a complete flank charge. Easily able to pull them out. So easy to pull them out against Vandal Berserkers, who themselves are light, so they're probably the best unit to chase after retreating cavalry. Kushite Shotalai are a decent unit. They are probably what a lot of competitive multiplayer units players will bring. Here using Frenzy Charge with my Mavia's Chargers, and let's see, they were at around 240. Yeah, they rack up the kills so quickly. For a very light cavalry unit, they just slaughter enemy units. But again, it's the lack of health there that will just ruin them unless you pull them out immediately. Even putting these guys for this long against enemy infantry is not good. But still, you know, I pull out so quickly. I mean, I pull out so easily. Here, Tanukid ambushers. Let's try and see if I can get them in on some close-up action. So the Tanukid ambushers, I think I've popped Frenzy Charge with these guys. Oh my god, that's beautiful. I pop Frenzy Charge with these guys. 163 charge bonus, slaughter a Germanic warband. And then they will die very quickly though. They will die very, very quickly. Here, Vandal Berserkers dying. Vandal Berserkers killing off my guys. Tanukid Warband going to come in, or sorry, Tanukid Ambush is going to come in for a charge onto the Vandal Berserkers. This is probably not the best type of unit for the Tanukid Ambushers to attack, because they're going to take a lot of damage there. Just as much damage as they're going to inflict, they're going to take as much damage on the charge. Kushite Shotalai doing well. They're probably what is a kind of a necessary unit for the Tanukids, because they bring that all-important stability to their roster. But yeah, there you go. Pretty interesting build. I mean, pretty interesting army. Definitely not a strong army by any means, because, well, maybe they're a strong army. I think potentially they can be a strong army, but you just need time to practice with them and to really appreciate the clicks required to use this army properly. But I think if used properly, they can be probably one of the strongest factions, or one of the most fun factions in the game, because you're kind of forced to play Attila like Rome 2. You have to charge in, pull out, charge in, pull out, otherwise your shock cavalry is not going to do much. But it's also like roided up, because in Attila everything moves faster. You kill faster, you have to also pull out faster because your units get killed, and that is just exactly what I would like from a faction like this. This is just, it's perfect. They have units that are almost a specialty unit in blocking missiles, which are the pikes, and you absolutely need them, because all the other units except for maybe the Shotalai are just really vulnerable to missiles. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling a little bit, but you know, after playing around 10-15 turns, I took a second gamble at the Tanukhids campaign. So much fun. I'm going to bring an LP for you guys, because oh my god, this faction is so cool. And I fell in love with the Tanukid ambushers right there. I mean, they're just so good there. I mean, it's not like they're the Athar's chosen. It's not like they'll just slaughter any unit and then not die at all. They die just as quickly as they kill other units. So it's just cool. Like, it's a glass cannon faction. Who doesn't like playing with the Odrysian Kingdom in Total War Rome 2? Who wouldn't like playing with the Tanukhids in Total War Attila? You charge in, you have to pull out immediately. You charge in with your Tanukid ambushers and just pray for the best. I guess the Desert Palatina and Desert Legionary defectors are all good. Kushite Shotalai are also pretty decent. 40 missile block chance, pretty good. And, you know, they just have the right mix. I just feel they have the right mix. And honestly, if I was going to go with the Tanukhids, I would not bring a single melee cavalry unit, because I don't think that's the Tanukid way. I don't think Mavia would smile upon you by bringing anything other than just really fragile shock cavalry. the Mavia's Chosen, Mavia's Chargers. I think the Mavia's Chargers are probably the best unit, best shock cavalry unit for these guys. Sandstorm Lancers are not great. I would always pick the Mavia's Chosen over the Sandstorm Lancers, and I think I would always pick the Mavia's Chargers over the Mavia's Chosen. Maybe bring Mavia's Chargers and Klibanari, but I think it's Mavia's Lancers and Mavia's Chargers are too unique for you not to bring them. Another really cool unit are the Badia Skirmishers, but they're about 200 talents too expensive for me to really justify bringing them. They do have fear, but what's the point of having a fear unit? These guys are very cool in campaign though, have to say. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this little rant about Tanukhids. Very cool unit, faction. You know, I'm in love. I'm in love with the Sandstorm. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this Total War Attila online replay, and seeing more. Peace.